Welcome to season 4, episode 5 of Take 10 and Time.
It's been a while. It's been 3
This
weeks.
is Chris Ashwell.
This is John Carruthers.
Excellent. See you every time. Yeah, it's been a while. We've been a few weeks just from bits and bobs and no happening. And here we're back to the point now, before we kind of came on, we couldn't quite remember where we've been at. And of course, we're a little later this week as well, on account of the fact that I had to go to the AGM of my son's out of school care.
Which is a coincidence because I also was at an AGM over the last 2 days. And as I was saying to John before the stream started, as part of the AGM, at the end, we decided to climb Arthur's Seat. And we were told by a guy who has an Instagram page for his dog, which you can find. I'll give him a shout out if I can even remember. Archie's Walks is the name of the Instagram. Archie's Walks. And Archie usually gets pictures taken with tourists from around the world. And he's like, "Where are you all from?" We're like, "Edinburgh." He's, "Oh, that's quite rare on Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh."
Was he underwhelmed?
No, he actually was like, "Oh, nice." So we got a nice picture of us. We met his 13-year-old dog. It's fucking ancient. But we came up the rocky way, and he said, "Oh, it's easier if you go down the grassy way." So I went down. We all went down the grassy. I was at the front of the pack, and I hit a patch of mud, slid down on my heel, and went all the way up my arse and back.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I just went home. Fuck it.
Everyone else is still at the pub talking about what an idiot you are.
Some people might still be at the pub.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that sounds. I mean, the AGM I was in was virtual, so no, there was no chance of me like skating on Mars. So
ours was hybrid. So I went home and stuck it on and sort of paid attention to it while playing the new Pokemon game.
Excellent. That's the way to do it. I just realised that I desperately need a haircut, and it'd have been fine if I'd even like run a brush through it.
I don't own a brush.
You don't own a brush?
But I do need a haircut.
I need a haircut desperately. I needed a haircut desperately about 3 weeks ago. My hair grows too quickly. It's mental.
It's the speed of a horse.
Exactly. I don't know how it happens. I don't know why it happens, but it happens.
Rumor has it that on a moonless night, in total silence, you can hear your hair growing.
Absolutely. You can witness it as well. I'm going to do an Edinburgh Fringe show next year, and it's just people watching my hair grow.
Yeah. It's what would you title that?
Watch John's hair grow.
Watch John's hair grow.
Watch John's hair grow. It's a simple enough. It's a simple enough title, accompanying a simple enough concept. It can't go wrong.
John Carruthers Bonnet Razor.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. You just watch the flat cap. Eventually, it touches the ceiling.
Yeah, by the end of the Fringe run, I'll have no fringe because the hair will have just gone.
It's just Jedward style.
I'll be like, yeah, Marge Simpson meets Jedward.
Paul Phoenix from Tekken.
we had like obviously we see more viewers kind of on the Facebook, but on the StreamYard it was showing 5 viewers, and I started talking about my Edinburgh Fringe run, and it's dropped down to 1. So people that switched people off. People off. So we'll maybe not ever mention my hair again.
Yeah, it grosses people out, John. What you like?
Exactly. Well, that's you need to learn these things, and if something's not working, you need to take note and you need to move on, and that's what we've done. That's what we've done here. This episode was called. This episode is called. Can't remember. It's called. You'll need to peel John off the ceiling, and the reason that we've called it that is because I was gigging on Friday to 540 people, and I'm still buzzing.
Hey, where was this at?
It was at the Tivoli Theatre up in Aberdeen.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
It was honestly still buzzing about it. So I thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
incredible.
I
How
was
long did
open.
you do?
I did. I think 17 minutes. I was supposed to do 15. Uh, you know me. I meandered,
Yeah.
so I opened for Ray Thompson, and then he did an hour and 15.
Wow, that's
So
incredible.
no, it was an absolute. It was just phenomenal. It was a absolute buzz, and I'm still kind of bouncing from it.
Yeah, I bet.
Absolutely. Just a wee peek behind the curtain. Absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrified for when I was looking from the sidelines, went because I went on and checked kind of on the stage before it kind of kicked off. Before it kicked off, sounds like in Glasgow. That means that a fight began. So I was standing on the stage just checking and doing my thing, and normally I don't know if you've ever seen before, but normally I've got a habit of not actually taking the mic out the mic stand, which has turned
Yeah,
into a bit of a kind of shtick for me, and I just kind of talk in front of it. But
yeah,
I thought I've got a full stage here. I can't get away with that.
yeah. Standing in one spot.
So I couldn't get away with standing in one spot. So I actually instantly took myself out the comfort zone, and because I used to be very different, and I did, and I was very animated, but I cultivated a style where I just stand there looking. I wanted to kind of usually generate this kind of this thing that I wasn't entirely sure what I was doing, and I was absolutely terrified, which kind of bled into the kind of nonsense that I was talking. And I
Yeah.
realised that I couldn't do that. Ironically, meaning that I was, in actual fact, in the end, more terrified than I would
You
be
didn't
in a situation where I'm pretending to be terrified.
didn't
But it
have
was
the
so it
mic
was
the mic shaped shield.
yeah, no, absolutely. So it was like that. And so I knew. So I wanted to get a kind of feel for it, and I looked up, and when the place is empty, you're going, this isn't so bad.
Yeah.
But when the place is full,
Yeah, I
so
bet.
I was kind of standing at the sidelines looking out, going, because when you look at it, you're going, there's no way you can get 540 people in here.
Yeah.
And then you look at it when there's 540 people in there, you go, yeah, there's 540. You can
I can feel
see, and
I can
so
see each one of them.
every one of
That's
them looking at me,
incredible, man.
silently judging. So,
Congratulations, dude. That's amazing.
but the good thing is the lights come down, and and I could only see like the first couple of rows. So,
Yeah.
to all intents and purposes, I could only see about 20 people, which is still more than I'm used to in a gig in a basement in Glasgow.
Yeah.
But it seemed to go okay. I'm still buzzing from it. So
Holy shit, man. That's incredible. Yeah.
mm,
God damn,
also
that's 500.
broke
I
my
can't imagine
toe.
500. The most I've ever done was 140. So you've beat me by 400.
I sold out. Well, I didn't sell out personally. I did a gig in Webster's Theatre once. I did a gig in Webster's Theatre once, and I don't know how many that holds, but that was probably my next biggest gig.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
that's
that
amazing.
was full. That was sold out. That was for Scottish Huntingtons, which is a very
Yeah.
worthwhile cause.
Of course.
So I'm just saying that in case anyone for Scottish Huntingtons is watching. No, I'm only joking. That is very, and I always try to gig for them, and I'm always happy to kind of try and raise money for them. But they did Webster's Theatre years and years and years ago. That was when I debuted the gold hot pants. I don't think I debuted there. That was the most people that have ever seen me wearing the gold hot pants, apart from that party I went to a few years later, where I was still wearing the most clothes. No, right. So Ian McCauley just said he'd love to have heard me. Well, I mean, if I
Yeah.
get
So
a
would I.
recording of it, I might fire it your way. If I get a
Fire
recording
it
of it, I'll
my
fire
way,
it your way.
please.
Start bootlegging my gigs.
It's just sell them at the back of your, sell them at your boot.
Absolutely. Yeah, is that where bootleg the no, that can be where bootlegging came from as a word
No.
on account of fact people were bootlegging before there were boots.
Yeah, I don't know
Where did
where that
bootlegging
comes
come where
from.
did
Both
bootlegging come
both
from?
both refer to the lower half of the body, boot and leg.
Yep, that's true.
What the hell?
If anybody knows where the word bootlegging came from,
Any
fire out your comment.
etymologists?
Yep.
I mean, I guess on the law of averages, we have so many viewers that one of them's bound to be an etymologist.
one of them's bound to have access to Google right now and then pretend that they knew all along.
I mean, that's how we always do.
The only reason I'm
work
not
meetings.
Googling it is because you would see me just kind of pretending to be talking, and I'd be typing where I'd be going, and you would see me just phase out for a second because I can't multitask. Going, anyway, Chris,
Well, for me, it's a lot more obvious. See if you can tell the moment that I start Googling, right?
I had click.
And I'm just illuminated.
Just illuminated.
If I close this stream, we've got the oh shit, got the massive white background from StreamYard blinding me. Does StreamYard have a night mode?
StreamYard does have a night mode.
Oh my god.
Okay,
right. This isn't the time for this. We'll do it later.
StreamYard does have a night mode.
I don't know. We've been doing this for a long time now, and I still don't have a StreamYard account. I've never logged in.
I'll let you on mine.
Yeah, sure. Or I could just make my own so I can sign in and set it to night mode. And that way people can't tell.
Ian McCauley's answered, which means a copy and paste effort for Google, I think. The word bootleg originates from the practice of smuggling illicit items in the legs of tall boots, particularly smuggling of alcohol during the American Prohibition era. So it's equivalent to when when you sometimes stick something down your arm jacket. It was the same way that you used to sneak pornos into the house so that your mum didn't catch you.
The only people that could pull that off these days are goths with their big, what do you call those northern rocks? The big boots with like the dragons and shit on them that come all the way up the leg. You could fit a whole katana down there.
Absolutely, just ready to just kind of. So there you go. So Ian gave us the answer. I used to sneak Doctor Who magazine into the house. Just so that nobody knew I was an absolute geek. And if Mum caught me reading a magazine, she goes, "Is that you in the porn again?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
it's not, is it?
You going into the kitchen at night, sneaking in the kitchen and like dipping your finger in the honey and then like sticking the pages together. Like, look, Mum, it's porn.
Look, it's sticking together. And then she manages to open it up and see a centerfold of a Dalek and go, "You're a sick bastard."
Oh, I trying to think the worst comic that it would be possible for that to happen to. God, there's got to be a lot of. I suppose the worst ones are those like, you get those in shops. They do like Barbie magazines or like.
No, I think there could be worse than that.
Monsters Inc. Disney.
I don't know, like Peppa Pig.
That Mike Wazowski would get it.
Exactly. That's fine.
Peppa Pig would be bad.
Peppa Pig would be bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Peppa Pig would be crazy.
That would be quite bad. I mean, you could justify by saying that it was maybe picked as a mummy pig. You're like, I don't know. Right, we've taken this too far already. I can tell.
Yeah, this is taking a weird turn.
I don't even by our standards. I'm blaming the fact that I kind of half said it earlier on, but then we kind of changed conversation. I broke my toe at the weekend.
Wait, are you sitting there with a broken toe?
I'm sitting here with a broken toe. I'm sitting here with a broken toe and tramadol in me. So
is that part of your act?
It's not, but I'm putting it down the fact, when people say break a leg.
I wouldn't put it past you though to break a body part. It's part of a show.
Exactly. I know. I mean, Charlie Wallace, if he's watching right now, will probably be saying, "I bet he did it on purpose." I know it was adrenaline that got me through. I knew that I'd hurt myself, but didn't realize the extent to which I'd hurt myself. And then, by the time I'd crashed back down to reality, the toe don't know. I don't know what toes are called, right? I know you've got your big toe and you've got your little toe, and then there's like three in
Your
between.
your index toe, your pinky toe,
Your
your
index
ring
toe,
toe,
absolutely.
your
Your
middle
ring
toe.
toe, and your so it's the one closest to my big toe, and
That
it's
would be,
black.
I guess that would be your index toe.
It's your index toe, but my toe's black.
Yeah, yeah, that happens. Yeah.
And just because obviously my brain decided to just kind of, my brain knew that I was in pain and wasn't realizing it, on account of the
You
fact that I was like, well, I'm having the best weekend ever. Decided that I wasn't realizing it, so it changed the way, obviously changed the way that I was, without me realizing it, had changed the way that I was walking in an effort to
yeah.
try and take a wee bit of pressure off this toe. As a consequence of that, I think I've like pulled like muscles in my calf because I
Yeah.
was reinforcing it. And the underside of my foot is now bruised as well, just because I was just walking differently. Also, my other leg's feeling the pressure because I was clearly just kind of putting more onto that. So both my legs are sore because I broke my toe.
Wait, I did notice that you completely left out how you broke your toe.
I have no idea.
Your toe just got broke.
My toe just get broke. I was that. I kind of. I'm consciously aware. By the way, I was sober. I just need to state that for the record. I was sober when it happened. I'm aware of the fact that I tripped over something and I kind of pringed it and didn't realize at the time. I was like, oh yeah. And then, oh yeah, I was gone, probably because I was thinking,
And then you
oh
started
shit, I'm
walking
gigging in
funny.
front of 540 people in less than 24 hours. And I just almost kind of went, ow, that hurt, and didn't think much more about it until it started really hurting again.
Yeah. Well, I have a pal who broke their toe getting into a bath. It was in a hotel, and they went to throw their leg over the bath and just booted the side of the bath and
Oh,
broke their toe.
I think it's so easy to do. I don't think people appreciate it till they've done it.
They walked from one side of Glasgow to the other on a broken toe.
Yeah. What? Hopefully, my brother comes on. Hopefully, my brother actually comes on for this on account of the fact that about 25 years ago, me and my brother, which is terrifying when you think about it, was 25 years ago, and you go, wait a minute, John, you were 20 when this happened. When me and my brother had an argument, we were having a fight. He annoyed me, and I chased him down the stairs and missed one of the stairs. And actually broke my fifth metatarsal
Yeah.
and continued to chase him through the entire scheme, unaware of the fact that I'd broken this, right? And then I was like, and he got away. I was like, little bastard, I'll get him when he gets home. And then just kind of walk. And as I was walking home, I went,
Yeah.
oops, something's not right. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And I went, fuck. And I'd broken my foot. So there you go. And I tell you what, when you get all these stories about kind of cold weather and stuff like that, my foot still, 25 years later, my foot still hurts when the cold weather comes in.
Oh yeah. I
It's
never
like some
got that.
sort of like some sort of barometer.
I broke my thumb years ago, but it was the last day of school before summer, which is the worst time to break anything. I can't remember what year it was. It's the last day of school, and me and my pals decided we were gonna mitch. I don't know. I guess dog you'd call that in Glasgow. But we decided to mitch off for the day, so we went in, signed in, and then fucked off. We went up the road and like drank at my pal's house, and then the school I went to was on like a hill. There's a road that runs all the way down it. I was in the back of my pal's BMX, on like the trick nuts at the back.
Yeah.
I was holding, and we started picking up speed, and he was like, "We're about to go off a curb here. You're probably not going to be able to hang on." And I was like, "Should I jump off now before we pick up too much speed?" And I did. I jumped and I rolled. Like I tried to roll like I was some sort of parkour dude. And what happened? And all that achieved was I landed smashed my collarbone off the ground, smashed my head off the ground, smashed my thumb off the ground, and immediately broke my thumb. Rolled over and stood up. Like just boom, boom,
Hey!
stood up. Couldn't raise my arm above here, so I limped down the road because my leg was sore as
Jeez.
well. And the fucking principal of the school came out of the gate at that time and was like, "Detention, come in now." And I'm like, "No." He's like, "What? Come in, detention?" And I'm like, "I can't lift my arm. I'm going to fucking hospital." And just left. But yeah, I ended up in a cast for a whole summer. I had to sit like that. Like it was like
Jeez.
properly stuck there. It's fucking terrible
Well,
because I remember I was at the beach and I pissed off my mum and she did a judo throw and threw me into the sand and then I got sand all the way through the cast.
oh God!
It's terrible.
I broke I broke a finger. I broke a finger trying to open a door in the dark. And what they did was they just
It sounds
basically
like the lyrics to
split
it.
against the other.
Aye, I've heard they do
Yeah.
that. They put it
Nope.
against the one next to it.
So I've done that
No.
with my toe.
I had a big dumb stupid thing on here. Okay.
Yeah, just probably because I think just so they almost try and splint it and support it if it's which they
Yeah.
probably can't do with the thumb in the same way.
Yeah,
So
well,
I've done that with my toe.
it was splinted, but it was splinted like so. It's like a stupid like glove thing you get, and then there's a metal bar
Yeah.
that runs down there, so it's like
And just
stuck
to keep
there.
it. So you look like Spock
Yeah, all the time.
all the time. Live long and prosper. Oh, Ian McCauley said, sorry for interrupting so much. He's done it twice. He's basically written 2 comments and he's apologised for interrupting so much. Clearly hasn't seen some other people. Are
Yeah, oh,
just
you're
kinda-
interrupting our dynamite, unbreakable
Absolutely,
flow
dynamite
here,
conversation
Ian.
about my broken toe. He said, sorry for interrupting so much. He's watching the World Cup with no sound as he can't stand the commentary. This is better and goes well with the game. So
Why
you're
don't we
welcome,
try and
Ian.
commentate on the game? Who's playing?
Well,
We'll try and
yeah, try and commentate on a game that A, not watching, and B, probably don't know enough about.
no, but who's playing? Ian, come back to us
Ian-
immediately because again we have this unbreakable flow. If you don't
Yeah, that's
come
right.
in
Yeah.
quick,
If
dead air is a crime.
exactly, if Ian comes back to us and tells us who's playing, we'll try and do a wee bit of commentary for it.
Yeah,
I can't
absolutely.
remember what I was talking about apart from so broken toe. I've also got a cracked rib as well from so
It's easy done.
yeah, just from coughing.
Very delicate things for things that are supposed to protect all your major organs.
I'm constantly hurting myself. It's great. I do stuff all the time. I've dislocated shoulders. There was a time when I was like that for about a week and a half and didn't realize why.
Oh, do you remember AJ? AJ, who is the rhythm guitarist
Yes.
for Winona
Yes.
Bleach? He is one of my oldest pals, and at the
'Cause
moment
he's
he
87.
is, yeah, he has been around the world 40 times, but he's a football player as well, American football.
All
and
right. Okay. Bloody hell.
recently he got his what you call it stretch shoulder, so his collarbone now just sits up, so like you can actually
What?
I felt his shoulder, there's like just like a wee bump sticking out. His
Oh,
collarbone's like out of alignment and it just is, and I'm like, are they going to put that back? He's like, apparently there's no need, it just sits up, that's it. Because or sorry, separated shoulder, that's what it's called. There's like multiple, he's got a level 2 one.
a level
Obviously
2 separated shoulder. Did he
he
have
hasn't
to set
spent
an exam for that to get past level 1?
Yeah, exactly. The theory test was a bastard, but the practical was no problem.
Oh.
Just
Oh,
actually,
that's right.
I went to see him last week. I saw the band, as you know.
Oh,
but it
that's
was
right. Yes.
so when we went to see them down in Glasgow at the Flying Duck,
The Flying Duck. That's right.
and they were playing at Sneaky Pete's, which is just down the road from the venue I was doing the Fringe at in 2021. Which
right.
is the Three Sisters, so it's literally just across the way. And
Cool.
the acoustics in there were incredible. I don't know, they've got such a good venue for it that you could hear Mel singing perfectly. Like you could
Alright,
hear, because whenever we saw them at the Flying Duck, as happens at small gigs a lot of the time, the drums sort of drown out a lot of
Yeah,
the other
no,
stuff.
absolutely.
But this time, everything was equal. It sounded amazing. You
Oh,
could really hear
wow,
her singing
nice.
voice.
I enjoyed
And
it. I enjoyed.
it was the first gig on the tour where Johnny, who's one of the singers and the sort of lead guitarist, they managed to get him a honey and whiskey so that he could sing. So there was one song they hadn't done the whole tour because he needs a honey whiskey in order to be able to sing it. So
All
he
right,
managed
okay.
to get it, and they sung a song.
Excellent, fantastic. That was the night that we drank the 75.5% TK rum.
Tiki rum, yeah.
Which I found 2 places in Aberdeen that did it.
You were doing a tour, I guess.
Yeah.
Trying to find.
So yeah, I know exactly. So I basically had some of that, and what it was that I got a shot of it, and they said, "What mixer would you like?" And I went, "Just throw a cube of ice in." And then he realized as he was kind of pouring it that there was only about 3/4 of a measure left, and he just
Yeah.
gave me that as well.
Hey,
I get
amazing.
I get nearly a double for the price of a single.
Yeah, he's probably like, well, no one else is insane enough to drink this.
Well, I mean, the fact that the bottle was nearly finished says that people have been insane enough. And he
Yeah.
actually he said to me, "You going to be all right drinking this?" I was like, "I'll be fine, mate." And then he heard the Glaswegian accent. So he said that he was having trouble getting a new bottle. So
Oh, holy shit.
there must be demand for it.
I've just remembered something. Yesterday, I got back from work at the general meeting down in Southbridge, and there was a package waiting outside my door, like a big package. I was like, "Holy shit! Someone sent me something for Christmas. This is incredible!" And someone had sent me something for Christmas. It was exported from Canada.
All
Had
right.
because it was an export, it had a description of all of the contents. So there was a painting, candy, socks, Christmas decorations, but it was
Really?
addressed to somebody called Zoe, who clearly must have lived at my address before me. I have no fucking idea who Zoe is.
Oh,
So
good God.
the only lead I have is a return address in Canada, someone called Patricia. So I'm trying to come up with good things to write in a letter that I'm going to send to her. But my pal came up with a good suggestion, which was just, "Hi Patricia," or "Dear Patricia, I received your care package. Many thanks, Chris." That's it. That's all you need to write. It's yummy.
Good God, that's just mental.
Yeah, I have a full. It's sat over there. I have a full it's pretty big. It's like, and it's heavy as well. And
So what are you
someone
going to
told me
are you going to open it, or are you allowed to
I don't.
open it?
Well, I mean, legally probably not. So I probably shouldn't talk about it on this
Yeah, no,
stream. But
absolutely. I would suggest that if you are going to open it, you don't tell us.
yeah,
Probably.
yeah. Oh, I definitely haven't opened it yet.
Yeah,
Oh, I
definitely not.
definitely haven't opened it yet.
Well, there, I think you're fine. I think you're covered. Ian's come back to us and said England's playing Wales and the USA are playing Iran.
USA are playing Iran. Holy
So
shit!
England versus Wales and USA versus Iran.
Wow. So he's watching both. Was he at 2 TVs?
He's got 2 TVs and he's listening to us.
Wow. Holy shit.
He's like you know that bit in the Matrix, is it the Matrix Reloaded, where he sees the kind of architect and all the hundreds of television.
Yeah,
That's
Ian.
what's happening right now. That's what Ian's doing right now. He's watching every game.
The amazing thing is, right, when you get into that room, you'd open the door and Ian sat, he turns to face you, and then you look at all the screens and all the matches playing, you go, "What's the score?" And he does a full 360, quickly turns back to you and gives you every single score on every TV. Man's like a prodigy of football scores.
I mean, it sounds impressive, but each of the games, you find out later on, each of the games it just kicked off, and it was all 0-0.
Yeah. They all had the exact same start time.
No.
It's so he can live compare stats. So the USA versus Iran must be an interesting game. I always thought that they should actually they could come up with some rule changes to football to make it more interesting. Like instead of just a red and a yellow card, they should have a black card for public executions on the pitch for particularly bad infractions, or every 15 minutes they switch up the ball for a ball of live snakes.
Excellent. And that's just the USA.
Yeah, that's just the USA. I believe the USA don't have a mascot. They just have an artillery gun at the at the side of the pitch that it just fires off a shell into the surrounding city.
Excellent. Jesus. On that note, I'm obviously I'm obviously laughing at this only because of the painkillers I'm on, and not because I condone Chris's anti-USA rhetoric.
It's not anti-rhetoric, it's pro-explosions.
Pro-explosions.
Yeah, exactly.
So on that note, as we talk about the USA and their uncanny ability to bomb nations back to the Stone Age. Hi to all our USA watchers.
Of which we have none.
Of which we now have none.
Yeah, we should kick off. Okay. Hold on, I got to very quickly get changed.
Excellent.
Okay, that's it.
Seamless. I should run a comb through my hair.
Yeah, apparently so should I.
Yeah. See, since I mentioned the comb through the hair as well, the viewers drop. Maybe they like my hair messy.
Shut up about your hair.
Stop talking about your hair. Gary Shandling. There's probably about 4 people in my entire Facebook friends list to know what I'm talking about there. Right. So anyway, as it was, as 3 weeks ago when we last played, Dickman Julius.
International man of mystery.
Who's currently engaged in the trial of champions in Death Trap Dungeon, came across a dark pit. So I'm just going to read this out. And you're faced with a choice. And you had 3 options presented to you, and you had been given what at that point we thought was going to be a week to make your choice. And now here we are 3 weeks later, ready to go, to the point that we weren't even sure where we'd finished off, because
no, we really didn't.
I never go back and rewatch these things just because it just seems arrogant.
Yeah, I've never really watched anything that I've been in.
I've never kind of rewatched. I probably should, just like even to do some form of editing, kind of on it, instead of just going raw. And
they would remind me of what Aziz Ansari said about when he met Kanye, before Kanye had gone fully off the deep end like he has now, but before the madness set in. Well, actually, he was always mad, but before it took a weird turn.
Yeah,
Aziz went round to his house. He went round to his house, and Kanye was there listening to his own album. And Aziz went in, and Kanye was like vibing out, and just went like, "Yo, these beats are dope." And it's like, that would be like, as he says, that would be like him putting on his own comedy album, being like, "Ah, these jokes are dope." So who would do that?
The only time I listen back to something I've done in comedy is A, if I've even bothered to record it, or B, just to make sure that I've not said something totally controversial before I potentially post it.
Yeah, but for you would like finding something controversial, because that would give you an opportunity to do your favorite thing, which is backpedaling.
It's
like I guarantee if you wrote a post that was like a bit racy or something, you'd be like, right, let's, before we post this, we have to come up with a good backpedal. just so we're ready. Not even a minute after it's posted.
Do you know what? I generally, when I do comedy, I don't do anything really controversial. I don't.
Hmm,
It's just not. It's not. And
nor
most
do
of our
I, never.
controversial comedy stuff probably comes through this stream, just from us kind of bouncing off each other. And that's why I do a fair amount of backpedaling. But I don't. So it always surprises me, even I sometimes post stuff on Facebook. Uh, it always surprises me when somebody calls me on it, because to me, I don't think I ever do anything, say anything too controversial. And
Yeah.
then it's amazing sometimes that somebody can find something and go, "What did you mean by that?" And
Yeah.
I can think of two examples of that happening off the top of my head, neither of which I'm going to mention on this stream
For
uh,
obvious reasons, yeah.
for obvious reasons.
No, I
Because
have said,
actually, three. I've just come up with a third one.
really.
I'm still friends with all three people that called me on it, so I'm definitely not going to mention it. But I have come up with three now. I'll get my top three of stuff that I wrote or posted that I didn't think at the time could have been considered remotely controversial,
I've
and then somebody just went, "Nah, I'm not having this."
I've never had someone approach me after a show. I've had people shout out during a show that they didn't appreciate some of the things I said. I mean, I've had horrible timing, and again, I won't mention those either. But yeah, some of them I did on purpose. It's like
Yeah.
because it was the event that it was. It was a particular event, and I was like, I kind of just want to do it anyway, just to see if I can piss people off.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I mean, I've been there as well.
Uh,
I try
yeah,
not. I try not to be controversial when I'm doing comedy, just because I don't consider myself a very controversial person, so I don't think I could do it justice.
oh,
I can do what people do sometimes, and maybe make a kind of off color joke
yeah.
that I know that I would never kind of do on stage, because it's a completely different thing, and it's
Do on stage.
do on stage. I just it's I'm just not good. I'm just not good at being controversial, and I probably do that. I probably do that thing that when I say something that might even be remotely construed as even slightly,
Well,
that's when I kind of go, oh well, when I said that, and I do the kind of backpedal thing, and it's not
I
because
don't. I like to sit in it. That's the thing. Because
I know you like to say. I know we're very different people in that
yeah,
regard.
you've seen my material,
Yeah,
and it's but the reason that I think no one comes up to me, or no one did when I was still doing stuff, um, is because the format of my thing is very clearly jokes. It's like this is a
yeah,
setup, this is a punchline. So you can say stuff and people are like they can be like, oh, but meh, they're not gonna come up to me after and be like, what did you mean by that? It's like it was a joke. You saw that it was a joke. I just find
absolutely.
horrible things funny.
Whereas I've never told a joke in my life on stage, so
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that means if you did say something, people will be like, "Well, you don't tell jokes, John."
yeah, that must have been
You
truth.
meant that.
So,
That was from the
I do
heart.
tell jokes, but they're usually jokes that my children have told me. I do occasionally go, here's a joke that my child told me. Anyway, sorry, I said 10 minutes ago that we're going to kick this off, and then we went off on surprise, surprise, a tangent. So there we go.
Tangential narrative. As the US have scored their 18th goal against Iran, aided by the snipers posted above the stadium. Every time the Iranians have the ball, it pops mysteriously.
That sounds like if that was what was happening, we'd have logged off this stream and we'd be watching this game, just kind of
Oh
going,
yeah,
when did football get so interesting?
it's more
Uh,
interesting than actual football. I've always
I,
wanted to see someone just lose their mind in a football match and just like go because you get like slide tackles that were like clearly weren't aiming for the ball. I just want to see like Zinedine Zidane that time he headbutted that weirdly headbutted him in the chest. That's a bad spot to go for. He had to go
no,
all the way down to get it. But like I just want to see someone lose their mind. Like that girl, there was she was a footballer, and you can see footage of her like properly like smacking other girls and like throwing them to the ground and all. Like not even they didn't even have possession at the time. She was just stood behind them and fucking throws them.
That's the way to do it. That is definitely that's how I would do it. If I A, played football, B, was a bit thuggish, and C, had the power behind me to carry it off.
Yeah, you
If
need the
those
presence.
three if those three things were present in my general kind of being, then that would be me. Unfortunately, none of them are. I mean, I broke my toe on fuck all at the weekend.
Yeah, you broke your toe on nothing, and then the other time you broke your toe on stairs.
Yeah,
To be fair, stairs can be dangerous, but let's get started. We're on
let's get
41 minutes.
started. Let's
We've got
do
19 minutes of questing to do.
Yeah, we've got 19 minutes of non-stop tight question to do, and it begins. People probably know now if they're interested in the kind of question element of it, and it kicks off usually 7:30. People probably know not to tune in till about 8:10.
Yeah, you don't really need to.
And my brother, when he watches, usually switches off as soon as we get into the quiz bit. Like, all right, that's them done now. They're doing the wee fantasy thing now. I'm away.
This isn't for me.
This isn't for me. These boys should know better. What age are you?
Wait, what's that? That's another tangent. Here,
Hey!
and so as you know, because I told you before the stream, we should be starting up a Dungeons and Dragons session together fairly soon in the next couple of months. And I needed to tell, because so we were playing a Fallout RPG. This is sort of tangentially related, actually, because it is also fantasy. We were playing a Fallout game, and long story short, we saved the dog's life. Right? It got shot in the leg. We saved its life. Right? So but the people that I play with, they usually play what's known as the murder hobo style, and it's called murder hobo because it's like you don't like live anywhere. You just go from town to town, basically killing people or things. And your answer, but present them with a wounded animal, and they're suddenly lawful good, right? So I come up. I had this thing, right, where I always had this idea, and I needed to tell them it so that I didn't do it to them. But the idea was that during the like intro for a character, I would have that character in a building that gets blown up, right, during a gang fight, because this is set in a sort of Grand Theft Auto kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the building blows up, and they're trapped in this apartment building burning down with a dog, and the dog leads them to safety. And they crawl out into the gang fight, and then the gang leader, to illustrate how evil they are, shoots the dog in front of them, right? Just kills the dog. Yeah. And one of the players said that they would actually cry if if I did that to them. I was like, well, this is why I'm telling you. But I came up with an idea for a trap. If you're a dungeon master and you're in a modern setting, please feel free I would encourage you to use this trap, because it's really fucking evil. It's the idea is to have an illusion, and I'm going to tell you this, and you're going to be in the session, right? And I'm going to use this, and I'm sorry that I'm telling you, but you can't let on to anybody else that's going to be in the session, because I know they don't watch this because they don't give a fuck. But the illusion is it's a dog trapped in a bear trap with its paw. It's whining, and to make that more believable, I will in that place have more bear traps that they'll find and they can disarm, or they'll get caught in or whatever, and then they're like, oh shit, a dog's fallen into one of these bear traps, but there is no dog and there is no bear trap because it's an illusion. So when they go to the dog to disarm the trap, there's just a landmine there. So that's the plan. So if you're a dungeon master or board set, please punish good people. That's the best part about being a dungeon master.
Absolutely. No, I'll try not to. People say, Johnny, you're not going to rescue a dog. Oh, no, I'm fine over here.
Yeah, the trick is to play a character, right, that hates dogs. Yeah. It'd be like Justified.
I'm a cat person. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm more a cat person. That dog can whine in the dark if it wants.
Now it's time for 15 minutes of non-stop questing. Chris, are you up for it?
Yeah, my plums are pumping. Let's go. I'm ready to burn. I'm ready to burn the 8 o'clock oil, 9 o'clock oil every time.
I know, just what is it? It's 9 o'clock. Bloody hell! Right, okay. No wonder I'm getting sleepy. Getting. There we go. You're ready to go. I've finished my cup of tea.
Oh, that water's turned. It's been sat a while. Oh, Jesus, right, let's carry on.
It's already been through you 3 times.
Oh, yeah, that's a triple filtered water.
Triple filter. Chris Smirnoff.
Yeah, I just stick some cheesecloth up my arse. Just drizzles through.
So you walk down the passage and soon find yourself standing at the edge of a deep, dark pit. The passage continues east on the other side of the pit. You think you could probably jump over the pit, but you're not sure. There's a rope hanging down from the ceiling over the center of the pit, and your choices are: do you throw your shield over the pit and jump after it? Do you jump over the pit carrying all your possessions, or do you reach for the rope with your sword to enable you to swing across the pit?
Right, let's not fuck about. We've had 3 weeks to think about this.
3 weeks to think about it.
Let's reach for that rope with a sword.
I'm going to reach for the rope with a sword. Wouldn't it be great if you just died here?
We're Captain Hooking it. Brother, look.
Imagine if they just went, you fall to your death. And as I don't know if you remember this. But because we have now got past the 2-episode grace period, if you die this time, this is it.
This is it. Unless that rope turns into a snake, we're okay.
Yeah, you're probably fine. Gripping the rope firmly, you step back to take a run and jump. However, in the dim light, you do not notice that someone has cut the rope almost in two, just a little way above the section you're holding. As you swing out across the pit, it suddenly breaks and you scream with fear as you plunge headlong into the depths below.
Wait, I didn't reach for the rope. I used my sword to get it over.
Yeah, to get it so you can swing across.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And am I dead?
Let's find it.
For fuck's sake. Do you have the winged boots of effortless flight?
Do you have the winged boots of Jamiroquai?
I got canned heel. I got canned heat on my heels tonight. Big man.
You land heavily. You land heavily on your back, but luckily your backpack cushions your fall.
Oh, good.
You lose 1 skill point and 2 stamina points.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So your skill's down to 9. And
Could your
stamina is down to 11.
I could be dead, so
it could be worse. Ever the optimist.
Yeah, that's me.
The darkness is almost pitch black at the bottom of the pit, and you crawl along the floor, groping in front of you. Suddenly your hand touches something cold, hard, and smooth. The object is small and round.
Like a blind man at an orgy. I was going to have to feel things out.
So suddenly your hand touches something cold, hard, and smooth. The object is small and round, but you cannot figure out what it is. You place it in your backpack, hoping to see what it is once you're out the pit. So we'll just say unidentified object.
We got a UO.
And then we'll see. Right. You continue to crawl forward and soon reach the pit wall. It's too smooth to climb, and you have to cut hand and toe holds in it with your sword. This takes quite a long time, but finally you climb back out of the pit onto the east side. You immediately check out the object in your backpack and discover that you have an orb of blood red ruby.
Wow, that sounds important, actually. An orb of blood red ruby. That sounds like we might exchange that or slot it into a door to open it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
this is some Legend of Zelda stuff.
I think this might have been a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, we lost some stuff, but
we'll find out. You're absolutely delighted and head off east in high spirits. You're back killing you. Whistling. You're absolutely delighted and head off east in high spirits, whistling softly under your breath.
Sorry, I'm just going. Feel free to go. I'll do it quiet.
The tunnel makes a sudden left turn and continues north for as far as you can see. You soon arrive at a closed wooden door in the left-hand wall. Do you wish to open the door or keep going north?
Let's open the door. My
Open the door.
curiosity's peaked.
Yep. Ah, my fucking toe. 12. Anyone that's just tuned in, had me saying, "Will you open the door?" You went, "Yeah, I'll just open the door." And then I went, "Oh, my fucking toe."
I've got it stuck in this fucking door.
Well, I just go, "What's happening here?" So the door opens into a large candle-lit room filled with most extraordinary lifelike statues of knights and warriors. A white-haired old man dressed in tattered rags suddenly jumps out from behind one of the statues and starts to giggle. Here he is.
Fucking hell.
That's him.
Oh, he's got one crazy eyes.
He's got
Doing
one
the
crazy
full-
eye. Though he looks like a fool, the sparkle in his eyes make you think there's more to him than is apparent. In a high-pitched voice, he says, "Oh, good! Another stone from my garden. I'm glad you've come to join your friends."
See,
I'm
when
a
you play
fan.
Dungeons and Dragons, can this be your character's voice? Because it's
Yes.
every character's voice in this. Any character that isn't just a normal person. I'm a goblin and an old man and also a leprechaun.
Sorry, I'm not fucking Rory Bremner, right? And I'm starting, right? Oh, good! Another stone from my garden. I'm glad you've come to join your friends. Now, I'm a fair man, and so I'll ask you a question. If you answer correctly, I'll let you go free. But if your answer is wrong, I'll turn you to stone.
I mean, it could have been worse. I was expecting to be like stabbed to death, prison style. Just all his buddies just.
You gotta, just like, what are you doing with that sharpened toothbrush?
Yeah. He does the prison tactic: stab 3 times, then get your fingers in. Make sure you pull whatever's in there out.
Around. That's it. So he starts to chuckle again, obviously pleased with your arrival. You've got 3 choices.
Great.
You can wait for his question,
Right.
or you can attack him with your sword, or you can make a run for the door.
Set him up, dude. Let's play. Let's hear this question.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he seems like a reasonable man. What's that in Time Bandits? Benson the dog. Benson. I'm a reasonable man.
Right. Again, this could be your last episode. This could be our shortest one yet. Let's do this. The old man points at one of the statues, and you recognize it immediately. It's the knight who started the Trial of Champions, the agonized look in his face locked in stone for eternity. The old man smiles, saying, "This man weighs 100 pounds plus half his weight. How much does he weigh?"
This man weighs
What will
100
your
pounds
answer be?
plus half his weight.
He weighs 100 pounds plus half his weight. Will you answer 100 pounds, 150 pounds, or 200 pounds?
This has got to be a trick because the obvious answer is 150 pounds, right? 100 plus half his weight. 100 plus 50 pounds. Oh, Jesus. Let's just go 150.
Going to go 150?
Yeah. Why fuck about? I can't think of a single reason why it would be the other ones.
All right.
But don't you do that to me? Don't you all write me like that?
I'm not.
Like you figured it out.
Right, okay, 150 pounds. Let's do this. Still smiling, the old man looks at you. Wrong, he says. Quietly. Wrong. Before you're able to do anything else, the old man mumbles a few strange words into the air. You feel your muscles harden and your skin go taut. You start to panic, but there's nothing you can do to stop the petrification of your body. Your adventure ends here.
Fuck. Wait, so what do you know the answer?
Yep.
What's the answer?
£100 plus half his weight has to be double what it was,
£100 plus
plus half of his weight.
half of his weight's £100. No,
Yeah.
half his weight's £50. So 100 plus 50 is 150.
No. That would be if he. No, £100 plus half his weight has to be 200.
Oh shit, yeah, because fuck, I'm an idiot. He weighs £100 plus
You're a
half
dead
his weight.
idiot. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, you were-
200 because 100's
yeah.
half his weight.
yeah,
Right.
because 100 plus half his weight would be
Yeah.
so if it was 150, that would be
It'd
100.
be 75.
75.
I'm a fucking idiot. I didn't think that through.
And
Well-
then, do you know, I went, "Are you sure?"
Oh god damn it! I got beat
my
by
Achilles
a
dead.
by a 1980s riddle. A 40-year-old riddle just beat me.
Cause of death.
Fucking hell.
So, this is the end of season 4 of Time. That was the coolest one yet, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's the shittest way to die, though, to a riddle. Fuck. I can't believe that got me. I'm such an idiot.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So you've died 5 episodes in. Season 5 starts either next week or the week after, depending if we want a break. And it will be the City of
We've had
Thieves.
we've had a 3-week break.
Yeah, we'll get right into it, right?
Yeah,
City
why
of
not?
Thieves next week. City of Thieves.
City of Thieves. Yeah, looking
Which
forward
was
to that.
supposed to be season 4, because this was supposed to be season 5. But Amazon sent me the wrong book.
Well, I mean, we got a good book out of it. Death
We
Trap
did.
Dungeon, at least.
But,
It's good.
so
I'm not gonna sleep tonight thinking about that. 100 plus half his weight is obvious now. Fucking idiot.
if anybody thinks that they can do better than Chris in Death Trap Dungeon, as always, I'll put the link to buy it on Amazon online. Other online sellers are available, or you can go and try and find it in a local bookshop and support live shops. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but there you go. That's the end. That's the end of season 4 of Tight 10 on Titan.
I honestly think, right, after a few more seasons, we should come back to Death Trap Dungeon because there just seems like there's so much stuff in it. It would be good
I'm
to
up
come
for
back to at some point.
I'm up
I mean,
for it.
I know we've done a lot of things in it, but we have died a lot, so there's definitely a cut off to a lot of it.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I'm up for coming back to Death Trap Dungeon. When I was young, this was my favourite.
Yeah. Oh, apparently a lot of people's.
Yep. I also like Forest of Doom, which we've done, and because I think it was the first one I played, I really liked Citadel of Chaos,
The Citadel of Chaos.
Citadel of Chaz.
Chaz.
Yeah,
Chaz
the
sitting
sequel,
atop a
Citadel of
Citadel.
Dave. So that's it. Yeah, so I will on the Facebook page, and the YouTube page as well. If I get the chance, I'll post the link for the book. Give it a go. See if you can do any better. We're always interested in hearing how people do when they do this. The only one so far that it's been difficult to do the link for was Starship Traveler, which is, I think, pretty much out of print at the moment.
Wow.
So you can buy like old and second hand versions, etc. But so next week we start new with season 5. We'll need to create a new character for you, and it is the City of Thieves. There will be no deleted scene.
Yeah, there's no need.
There's no need because you're dead.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week. I nearly said my own name there. This has been Chris Ashworth, which I got right. Fuck.
And
See, if
this
I
has
think
been
you've
John
had it.
Carruthers.
Excellent.
No, I've got to get it right because you do.
Absolutely. See you next week.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.